Lesson 266. My holy self abides in you, God's Son. Welcome to the Qigong support for A Course in Miracles students. My name is Judith and this is part of the Lucid Mind Center. And the reason this is called Qigong support is because at the end of reading and contemplating this lesson together with you, I'm going to guide you to Qigong classes which are especially suitable for the period with this special thought, what is the body? And today I'm inviting you on this island which is called Čiovo in Croatian. When you actually translate it, it means the island of Chi or Čio. Čio could be a name for a man or Chi. So this is the island of Chi. And it only took me about 3 days before I realized what that name actually meant. And every day I'm falling a little bit more in love with this island. But tomorrow we are leaving north on the coast. For the ones who are new here, I normally live on the Canary Islands in Spain, and right now I'm traveling for several weeks in Croatia, and I'm bringing you the lessons from wherever I am in Croatia. And this is also where I started recording the first 5 lessons for the A Course in Miracles Qigong. Let's begin reading our lesson together. Lesson 266. My holy self abides in you, God's Son. Father, you gave me all your sons to be my saviors and my counselors in sight, the bearers of your holy voice to me. In them are you reflected, and in them does Christ look back upon me from myself. Let not your Son forget your holy name. Let not your Son forget his holy source. Let not your Son forget his name is yours. This was the prayer. This is the prayer for 266. And this really is such a key lesson. And some of us, we want to not apply this lesson. We don't want to see the Holy Son in other people or in some other people. And while we don't want to see the Holy Son, the Christ, the light, the love, the holiness or the innocence in other people, while there is still some, we are refusing to see it in them, that actually doesn't help us along. It is like not being able to lift that anchor off the ground of the sea, off the ground of the ego. It is like a big chain tied to your leg, which is not letting you move on from the ego. Not wanting to see that really everybody is innocent, and also you are innocent. When we see a newborn, when we see small children, some of us can see it instantly, the innocence in them. And like anything else in this world, each one is teaching us a solution to return to light. So whatever you can apply to a baby, that innocence you see in that, you can apply that innocence to any other person, even if it's an old man or an old ugly person or a young ugly person. That innocence is in them. They might have forgotten about it, but if you remember it for them, and you remember it then also for yourself, and then you are lifting that anchor from that sea of the ego, the one which is holding you in darkness. Let's read this again. Remembering that the salvation is actually in seeing the light in other people. Father, you gave me all your sons to be my saviors and my counselors in sight, the bearers of your holy voice to me. In them, the bearers of your holy voice to me. So sometimes you have to stop listening with the ego and actually listening with love, with light. with the holiness within you, with the Christ within you, then you are repurposing your ears, like we have learned in the previous 10 lessons, where we are repurposing our senses. We want to listen, we want to hear the innocence, we want to see the innocence, we want to smell the innocence. We want to smell the creation, like right here. I can smell those flowers and it's just so incredibly gorgeous. But no matter where you are, if you go out into nature, there's always the smell, even just in a park, in a city, even if there's just a little bit of green area in a city, or even if you just have a balcony with a few flowers, you can smell the creation. This is all a reminder that we are not alone, that there is salvation everywhere if you just choose to look at it with different eyes. The bearers of your holy voice to me. In them are you reflected, and in them does Christ look back upon me from myself, because all the selves in every other person is the same self. Therefore, the reincarnation, the way we are understanding it, is not working exactly as it has been transmitted to us from some of the religions. It's also saying it in the manual for teachers. If somebody believes in reincarnation and that helps them to see that life is eternal, then you just allow them to stay in that belief. But reincarnation, it doesn't exactly happen that way. It's not that one soul travels to the other, in the sense that your personality is kind of attached to a soul. The reality is that there is only one soul, there is only that one self, and it's in every single one of us. Therefore, we are all reincarnations of each other, really. That means I'm a reincarnation of you and you are a reincarnation of me, and momentarily we can only just remember our one human life we are having here. In them, Father, you gave me all your sons to be my saviors and my counselors in sight. In sight. The bearers of your holy voice to me. So there we have the sight, and now we have got the hearing. In them are you reflected, and in them does Christ look back upon me from myself. Let not your Son forget your holy name. Let us not forget our holy name. Let not your Son forget his holy source. Let us not forget our source. And let not your Son forget his name is yours. In the Qigong class, I'm going to ask you to read the idea, my holy self abides in you, God's Son. And I'm going to ask you to read this prayer we have just read together. And let's just see what the explanation tells us more. This day we enter into paradise together, calling upon God's name and on our own, acknowledging ourselves in each of us, united in the holy love of God. How many saviors God has given us. Every single human can be your savior. How can we lose the way to him when he has filled the world with those who point to him? When he has filled the world with those who point the way to him and give us the sight to look on them. This is a beautiful, absolutely beautiful, beautiful idea to ponder upon, to consider, to remember who we truly are. So here is the seated meditation which I'm inviting you in. Here I have created a new Qigong class for you to undo all the negative emotions. Here you have what is the body, the reading, and here you have got the whole list of Qigong classes if you would like to do another one. Love, light and Qi to you.